Hi guys, I'm Ivan Jansi Angeles and today I will share to you procedure of entering of enclosed space area. Let's go. Main procedures of entering of enclosed space area. What you need what you need to consider before going inside. There are there are a number of key things to review before entering a confined space. And with we've compiled the top 7. They're listed in no particular order, but they're all highly important. 1. Entry and exit plan. While it may seem obvious that a worker has to enter and exit the space, doing so isn't always as easy as it seems. It's important to devise an entry and exit plan of confined spaces. Confined spaces can be difficult to maneuver. Even just fitting into this space can be a challenge in and of itself. So workers need to have a clear understanding of how they will get in safely and get out once the work is done. Number 2, the atmosphere. Before anyone enters a confined space, the atmosphere must be tested using equipment designed to detect chemicals and gases that may be present. The test should be conducted at level well below the defined exposure limit. A technically qualified professional must carry out the testing and make decision about next step. OSHA mandate testing the atmosphere in the following order. 1. For oxygen. 2. For combustible gases. 3. For toxic gases and vapors. The space should be tested regularly to ensure atmospheric conditions remain safe. If workers exit a space and later need to re-enter, the atmosphere need to be tested again. Continuous monitoring of the space is ideal. Number 4. Equipment function. Damaged equipment may not operate effectively and could put workers at risk. Health and safety professionals recommend inspecting equipment regularly to make sure it is in good shape. Keeping workers safe is the top priority here. So make an honest assessment of what kind of shape the equipment's in. If even if it means having to delay the work or buy a replacement. Part of maintaining equipment means storing it properly. Equipment that get thrown around can be compromised sometimes without showing any obvious sign of damage. Storing all confined space equipment in a single trailer which can be can which can then be hooked up to a truck and towed to the site is a great way to ensure equipment is well cared for and continue to function as it should. 5. Confined space condition. Is the space at height? Is it underground? Are the walls slab or is there overhead material that could collapse? These are questions that you need to address prior to letting anyone entering the confined space. Will the worker face a risk of engulfment, entrapment, flooding, or fall from height? If so, they need to have the right PPE and be briefed on dealing with the specific hazard. Number 6. Rescue plan. Studies show approximately 40% of confined spaces fatalities involve rescuers. So, it's safe to say that having a well thought out rescue plan is critical. Rescue procedures should be established before entry and should be specific to the type of space involved. All personnel should be trained on emergency procedures and a written plan should be in place. All employees should be aware of potential hazard and untrained workers should never attempt a rescue. Practice may make perfect. Rehearse the rescue procedure frequently to ensure rescuers are proficient enough to eliminate life-threatening rescue attempts. Rescuers who are comfortable with their duties also tend to the calmer and more efficient when responding to an emergency. Lightning. Confined space don't usually include overhead lighting for workers' convenience, and moving around in dark space can increase the risk of slip, trips, falls, and other accidents. Workers can avoid this kind of hazard if they can see them. So make sure they equip with light sources that are specifically approved for confined space environments. 7. Communication. Communication is often overlooked, but it's an essential part of a safety plan. For confined space work, you must consider communication between those inside the spaces, between those in the space and those outside it, and with emergency services. Ideal communication device for confined space should meet the following criteria: hand-free, wireless, full duplex, independently powered, integrated with hearing protection. Again, this is Ivan Jadsi Angeles, and I hope you learned something new today. Safe travel.